There you go. Thank goodness. Welcome, everybody. I was just having a conversation with Mrs. Hollingsworth, and they said, turn on your mic. There we go. Welcome out to Washington Ballpark in Washington, Missouri for today's G.A.C. Game of the Week featuring the Fort Zumwalt East Lions taking on the Washington Blue Jays. And this is our first time out here. This field here, Coach Gough was explaining, is only 3 years old now. You got grass outfield, turf infield. There was a school, an elementary school that was on this property, and it got rezoned and flooding and whatnot, and they couldn't insure a new building, so they said, hey, we need a new baseball field. Boom, new baseball field. There you go. That's the way that works. They built the school on the other way, so we got a nice ballpark out here. Beautiful, beautiful setting. I love it. So we're happy to be here. Red Earth Productions, LLC, produces youth baseball Midwest, and in the trailer behind me, my crack crew, giving you all the pictures, all the graphics, taking care of all the sound, everything back there, just like they did. Make sure you turn on your microphone. That always helps. Is Lauren and Drew Klutz taking care of it for you. I appreciate them a lot. They do a lot of great work behind the scenes to make all of this happen. Today on the call with me is going to be my good buddy, Mitchie the Kid Thomas. He's on his way. He'll be here and out here going to be working with us with the crew. You saw him on the press box. He's been writing some great articles covering the G.A.C. North. Coming out here to work with us is Evan Shank, our YBM insider. So we got the whole crew out here with Youth Baseball Midwest, and we appreciate everybody joining us today. And if you would, take a moment. If you like what we're doing, hit the like button. We appreciate that. If you want to support us even more, support us by subscribing. Hit the dinger over there. It's not a home run, and you might hit one, though, out of this ballpark. That wind is blowing straight out to left field, man. I'll tell you, we may see a home run today. I don't know. But it does get you notifications for upcoming episodes such as this, so we appreciate it, folks. We're going to start off our pregame show with a look at the Fort Zumwalt East Lions. Head coach Russ Hill, assistant coach Steven Lautzenheiser. Their current record is 7-5. They started conference play last week and split. I got to get my glasses on here so I can see what I'm talking about here, folks. And split that, and we're going to take a look at, there it is. I knew I'd find it. They split that last week with Fort Zumwalt North. They lost a 1-0 ball game, tight one in the first one, and then at Fort Zumwalt North, that's who they were playing, Fort Zumwalt North, took the game 12-0. So. And then had a 16-inning marathon with Warrenton that ended 7-6. And Mike Morgan, our good friends from over at East, he sent me a video of the relief on the faces of these kids after that ball game. And then they took a win at Wright City. So that's what they've been up to recently. We're looking forward to this 7-5 record, and there's a lot of history here with Zumwalt East. In 2022, the team won their first district title and made it all the way to the Final Four. I remember some of those years. My son also played for Coach Hill back in the day. He graduated in 2016, so I'm very familiar with the program. They've had a lot of really good players come through this program, folks, and so for them to get a district title there, I think that's fantastic. And just looking at some history here of players. Oh my goodness, I can't hardly see. The sun is killing me. Trying to work my computer here. There you go. just in that 2022 run, just Luke Abishon, he's over at McKendree University. He's having a good, solid college career. Lucas McGill over at Maryville. I haven't seen much, but you go back in the day. Brendan Sugar, who is now a head coach at Orchard Farm. That's way back, going back in the Wayback Machine to win this program there. Parker Davis, I remember he was part of that 2022 team as well. That was a really good baseball team. And so we're looking forward to seeing what they have to bring here today. Players to watch here for Zumwalt East. I'll tell you, we're going to spotlight him a little bit later in the program, but man, Carson Topping is just hitting the cover off the baseball, and we got the big right-hander on the mound in Carter Hollingsworth. Looking forward to watching him pitch today. Haven't seen him throw yet, so looking forward to that. There's a couple of players for you right off the get, and we'll do some more player spotlights as we move through the afternoon. Zumwalt East is a very young baseball team, and so I think they're finding their groove. And but we're going to go to our history piece. Shout out again to Brett Crumbaugh, who is our historian, who's been putting these showcase piece together, talking about these programs. So, Drew, if you want to run the Fort Zumwalt East piece, we'll go right to it.
Welcome to this exciting broadcast of Fort Zumwalt East High School versus Washington High School, brought to you by Youth Baseball Midwest. Today, we're shining a spotlight on Fort Zumwalt East, located in St. Peters, Missouri, home of the Lions, a program that's been steadily building their reputation as a strong competitor in Missouri high school baseball. Fort Zumwalt East competes in Class 5, District 4 in the Missouri State High School Activities Association. With a strong commitment to development, fundamentals, and team culture, the Lions are becoming an interesting team to watch in 2025. So whether you're a fan of the Lions or just someone who loves a good baseball matchup, you'll want to keep your eyes and ears peeled on Youth Baseball Midwest as we bring you all the exciting matchups all season long.
Hello, folks. We're going to take a look at the Washington Blue Jays here next. Current record 2-9. Of course, they split in their conference opener as well, and we're going to take a look at that. Washington, they split their first one with Fort Zumwalt South. They had a 6-3 loss and then a 14-6 win. Then they played a really, then they went on Saturday and played Fort Zumwalt West and Hillsboro. And Fort Zumwalt West is the number 3 team in the state in the YBM rankings, and they lost a 1-run ball game. They're Class 6. Of course, Washington here is Class 5. Hillsboro is a ranked Class 5 team. We have Hillsboro ranked, I believe, 14th, just off the top of my head, in the YBM rankings, and they lost a 5-4 ball game. So, again, Washington, another young team, losing some close ball games here. So, 2-9, maybe not as indicative a record as the talent or the opportunities may show, and we're looking forward to seeing that here today with this ball game. Again, another team with a lot of history behind it, and one young man that really stands out to me is Sam Pauley. Sam Pauley played here a couple years. Washington had a really good run, district championship, and this young man has went on to play a couple years at State Fair and is now committed to one of the top NAIA programs in the country in Missouri Baptist University. So, we're going to see that type, and you got players to watch here on this ball field. Henry Vetter over there at first base. is one of those two-way guys. He swings the bat, pitches well. But on the mound, we have Mason Tice is one that I'm looking forward to. This kid's numbers have been outstanding early in the season. And as we talked with Coach Gough today, that hasn't been their issue. Their pitching has not been their issue. They just haven't been able to score as many runs, give those pitchers that support they need. But we're going to find out today what we got with that situation. So, hey, and there he is coming in here right in the clutch. So that's some of our players to watch, our little history here of players. And we're going to take a minute while he's unpacking. We'll let him unpack.
I'm unpacked.
Catch your breath.
I came prepared.
Walking all the way up. Got to and the mic's already on and everything.
Yeah, I pressed it. And I knew what was going to happen, and I was like, you know what? When you're late to the park, make sure you come ready to go as soon as you lace them up, if you will.
Well, we're just getting into our pregame show. We talked about Zumwalt East. What's your thoughts on Zumwalt East, Mitch?
I'll be quite honest with you. It's the coaching staffs for me, because I think both teams got some nice players on their teams, and I think how the coaches are going to manage their rosters to kind of maximize. I think that's who's going to win the game.
Yeah.
Believe it. I mean, I know that managers don't really have a say in who wins, but they can in who loses. So what decisions are made late in the game, I feel like it's going to be a close one.
Our pitching matchup is solid.
Yep.
We have Mason Tice and Carter Hollingsworth. Both of these young guys early in the season are putting up really solid numbers, Mitch. Have you seen the Tice kid before?
I have not. This is a first for me, so I'm excited to get to see some of these athletes that we haven't seen before.
Exactly, and I spoke to Mason Tice before the game, and he's a bigger kid than I expected, but he plays for the Washington Post 218 in the summer, and he's been part of that program, which is a successful program. This young man, he's putting up, as I said, some big numbers. But Hollingsworth, I've seen him pitch a couple times. He's a solid kid, good fastball, good off speed. He's probably mid. I think he can get up into that 87, 88 range.
What I'm going to be interested in today is the wind is kind of facing towards the pitchers, and almost like first base side to left field. And I wonder how that's going to play with the off speed and just pitches in general. How they're going to be able to manipulate their pitches. I've never seen either one of these guys pitch, and so this is my first time seeing both.
Well, if you look up to your right there over your shoulder, the flag, it's blowing straight out the left field, bro.
Yep. I was, as soon as I got out of the truck, I was like, oh yeah, wind's blowing out. And I mean, I feel that way every park I show up to, no matter what, especially if I got them laced on. So, and wind's always blowing out.
For the hitters, when you see that flag blowing like that, does it give you that thought process of, ooh, I'm going to elevate and celebrate?
No, I don't think so. Not when you're playing teams like this, or pitchers like this, I should say. My thought process is still trying to catch barrels, and if I get lucky, I get lucky. Yeah. I try to take advantage of the weaker arms in the conference to pad my stats, and I'm hoping to go 1 for 3 against the big dogs. So
we're going to take a moment here. I wanted to catch up with Mitch. We're going to take a moment here to roll our history showcase from Brett Crumbaugh for the Washington Blue Jays. Go ahead and roll that, Drew.
Welcome to this matchup between Washington High School and Fort Zumwalt East High School, brought to you by Youth Baseball Midwest. Today, we're spotlighting Washington High School, located in Washington, Missouri, home of the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays compete in Class 5, District 5 of the Missouri State High School Activities Association and are diligently working to build a winning program. And while recent championship hardware may not yet be in their trophy case, this is a program defined by grit, growth, and determination as they look to bring a championship home to their school and their community. So whether you're a fan of the Blue Jays or a fan of exciting high school baseball, keep your eyes and ears peeled on Youth Baseball Midwest as we broadcast this game and others throughout the whole baseball season.
We appreciate Brett Crumbaugh bringing all that to us this season, dropping some knowledge. Oh, Mitch is bringing the POG. I love it.
POGs for the winning team. POG.
For the winning team. I get you. Good to see Coach Lautzenheiser out there, healthy, working his way back, getting to 100%.
He can hear you.
Good to see you. And swinging the bat and everything, man. I love that. Wouldn't do that, bro. Wouldn't do that. He's got the rabbit ears going. I love it. Hey, we did get a chance to talk to both coaches before the game, as we are prone to do in our pregame show. It's always a positive. It's always fun. We first talked with the head coach for the Zumwalt East Lions, Russ Hill. Why don't you go ahead and roll that for us, Drew? I'm here with the head coach of Fort Zumwalt East, Russ Hill. Coach, thanks for taking a minute.
Sure. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Hey, season's off, 7-5 so far. You've had your ups and downs. Talk a little bit about your team at this point.
Sure. Yeah. It's early still, we feel, although, halfway through it's kind of hard to believe. But a couple games early, we dropped a couple games early we felt like we should have had. I know we went on a spring break trip in Boonville. We had a 7-run lead in the last inning that we dropped. Didn't play particularly well at home against St. Charles High, and they got us. But other than that, yeah, we've been okay. We're super young, as you know.
Yep.
And by young, inexperienced.
Right.
We truly have a couple of senior POs, but really only have one returning guy on the field, center fielder Ryan Clethermus. But other than that, everybody's kind of new, so unproven.
Carson Topping has been a pleasant surprise, yes?
That's easy to say, pleasant surprise. But, what's cool about Topping is his character and demeanor and just his makeup. What he brings to the team as a new guy is super cool. He's quiet, flies under the radar. He's not flashy. He's not cocky. He's got the numbers to be because he came out pretty hot.
That's video game numbers, coach.
Right. But he's super humble, and he's a good dude. He's a good guy to have. He's been fun to coach and fun to get to know for sure.
Yeah. Carter Hollingsworth on the mound today. I know he kind of started off with a little bit of a hamstring. How's his health, Coach?
Yeah, no, he's good. Actually, knock on wood, he hasn't had any issues with that. So I know we babied him in a sense on practice and preseason and eased him into it, but I was reluctant to get him going. But man, when the season started, he's a gamer, so he was ready.
Very good. Well, looking forward to it, Coach. Thank you very much for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Brian.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Appreciate Coach Hill taking the time to chat with us. We also had the opportunity to speak with head coach Dane Gough, and want to give a shout out to the Washington athletic department for allowing us to come out and be part of the G.A.C. Game of the Week here at this beautiful complex. So we're going to roll this interview with Coach Dane Gough. Hey, folks, welcome out here to Washington, Missouri, where for our G.A.C. Game of the Week, I'm joined by head coach of Washington, Dane Gough. Coach, thanks, Mom.
Oh, thanks for having me, or thanks for having us, and thanks for making the trip down here. So Franklin County is a little bit further away than St. Charles County. I get that. So your first time here, hopefully you like our house.
I already like it already because we were able to set up like that. It makes it much easier. Looking forward to the ball game. Tough start so far.
Yeah, I mean we're high from record. We're 2-9. We've faced some quality opponents.
Yes,
so
yeah.
It's something where looking at it and going into it, there's some obviously we want to be more successful offensively, and I feel like that's where our area for biggest growth is going forward. We got to hit the ball. Got to get stringing some hits together. So had that rain. We had the 3 days of good rain about 10 days ago. We had some good practices then. I felt like we got better in that stretch, and then came out of the break hitting the ball a little better. So, so we're looking forward to compete. I keep telling the guys, I said, you feel like the point where maybe you lose your team or you lose confidence, and I don't think we're there yet. So I feel like we're still fighting.
Your pitching's been good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your pitching, I'm looking forward to seeing Mason Thies pitch today. His numbers are great. The offensive side is where you've been struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. When Mason Tice is going, Tice is today.
Tice?
Yep, Tice. That's all good. You're learning. So yeah.
Sorry, Mason.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, Mason will go today, and then we're followed up by Henry Vetter. He'll be starting tomorrow, and you're going to see probably in relief a kid named Caden Ricardo. So he was coming off injury. He did a little foot fracture to start his year. So he was one that relieved against Zumwalt South and had 2 innings, 6 strikeouts. So he's something where you'll probably see him today.
If not, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So he's coming back, and has been doing a good job. And then there'll be others as well, but those are 3 that are kind of leading the push right now. So yeah, you're absolutely right though. Pitching has not been the problem. It's been obviously offensively we got to get the sticks going.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a beautiful day, right?
Absolutely. So it's gorgeous. Yeah, I know. I was trying to decide between long sleeves and short sleeves, and so I was like, I'll go long sleeves. So.
Coach, thanks for taking a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Coach, and good luck. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate Coach Dane Gough taking the time. Got the Blues working our way in here. And so I want to thank Athletic Director Bill Deckelman as well. So we appreciate the administration helping us out here. Mitch, we got a little comparison here as we're getting ready to see the Blues. We're going to get to the starting lineups here. Just one moment. But I want to do this real quick. East is the leader in this matchup all time, 16-9. That's pretty good.
I'll take it.
So West has got to catch up a little bit.
Well, and
or West,
Washington,
but Washington.
Yeah. And that's with it, East being a new school, having new, some I'm sure the first couple of classes had been young. So, I'm assuming, without looking, that never assume, I guess, but East has probably held the edge for the last couple seasons.
Right.
Just East had some guys.
They're currently on a 2-game losing streak. The last 2, 10-5 and 9-0 in favor of East. But Washington had won the 2 previous 10-4, 9-1. So they've been lopsided scores the last 4 games. So it'll be interesting to see how that if we see a little closer game here today.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the stats before the game, and it seems like when you look at East's roster, they look like they can swing it a little bit. They're scoring some runs, they're running bases, they got some pop. Mr. Topping's got 2 dingers. I know that you probably already touched on this, but the 21 ribbies, and Washington doesn't have a guy yet with double-digit RBI totals. The most they got is a guy with 6, and so it's going to be interesting how Washington manufactures runs today against East.
I agree, and that was the thing that Coach Gough talked about in the interview was, their pitching is good.
Yeah, they're in ball games. When you look at the scores, they're showing they can compete. It's just going to come down to, I think, which we've been talking about a lot lately on the shows, whether it's been the youth or high school, the free bases.
Oh,
who can
absolutely.
limit mistakes.
Can you keep guys off the bases, and can you make the plays in the critical moments? Because there's always 2 or 3 times, Mitch, you know this, in a ball game where the pressure's on who executes at the highest level, correct?
Yeah, and it can be a complete game changer. I mean, you might have a 2-1 ball game running into we saw this the other day, last Tuesday in the game of the week, and very close ball game, and it was broke open in the last couple innings just because of as Sissel would say, you got to hit them where they ain't, right?
That's right.
So I think it's going to, again, don't give up the free bases because you give more opportunities to that offense to dump a baseball. So I'm excited for this one, though. I'll tell you this, as much as I love this atmosphere of the ballpark, just kind of down in a hole, if you will, getting in here, though, you go through a nice little neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then, boom, it opens up. You see the, right field blue, it sticks out like a sore thumb pretty good, and I love the small town vibe of this
cool.
field, and just in general, right?
And this is your kind of park. It's 315 down the lines, 375 dead center.
Buddy, that's too small.
That's a good high school park.
That's too small for me. but the big leagues were too big for me. So it's two different things here.
Let's get to our starting lineups here. First, for the visitors, the Fort Zumwalt East Lions leading off, playing shortstop, number 1, Travis Hill. In the 2-hole, playing second base, number 24, Jackson Bingham. In the 3-hole, in right field, the aforementioned number 10, Carson Topping. In the 4-hole, the catcher, number 18, Dominic Pandolfo. In the 5-hole, at third base, number 21, Kevin Morgan. In the 7-hole, there it is. I knew it. No, 6-hole, excuse me. Number 16, playing center field, Ryan Cleathermos. At first base, number 17, Tyler Cleathermos. And in the 8-hole, the DH, Chase Center. And in the 9-hole, left field, Brady Koppenhaver. And we're going to get our defensive lineup here set for this Washington Blue Jays squad. Let's go ahead and do that, guys, real quick. On the mound, Mason Tice, his battery mate behind the plate. And as I am prone to do at times, didn't put that in the sheet there. And don't have his name. Isn't that terrible? I don't. I didn't write it down. That is terrible.
What's his number?
That's what I was looking for, and I don't see it.
Umpire's in the way right now.
Anyway,
We'll come back.
so we got Henry Vetter at first base. We have, I got to do this a little bit this way. There it is. Nakai Scott at second base with Andrew Elbert at shortstop, Colton Carrier at third base, Ben Lossing in center. Now here's one for you. I hope I don't butcher it. Aiden Hopfensberger in right field, and Mr. Ryan Williams is in left field. I blew that one, didn't I? I blew it. You're right. It is Missy because he's being DH'd for. First pitch. It's outside, ball 1. He's a big kid, isn't he? 1-1 to Travis Hill. Beautiful afternoon. The wind is kind of calming down a little bit for us, Mitch. Ooh. Boy, I don't know where that missed, Mitch. Was he? Yeah. It's true. It's true. I guess I better be quiet, huh? 3 balls and a strike. 3 balls and a strike. We'll let Blue get into his groove, right? Got to let him get into his groove. Fastball misses low. So a leadoff walk for Travis Hill. Not the way you want to start the ball game. Jackson Bingham at the plate now. It's like, what did he just call? Does anybody know what an 11-5 is? Think he's going to work that bunt there? Think it's a dummy call? Hey, you never know. Oh, there it is. Oh, bunts it foul. I had the call there. There it is again. Oh, on the offer there. That ball just dumped under the bat, Mitch. It is number 4, and that ball is hit to third baseman. Out at 2. A little trouble on the great pick over there by Henry Vetter. And pitcher's best friend right there, the ground ball. That's a good turn, Mitch.
Turn my microphone on. The microphone was off. Here I am talking without it. I talked that whole half inning.
That's ball 1
so far without.
I didn't know because I don't.
Microphone on.
I could hear you. I could hear you fine.
I don't think the fans.
We could hear you.
No.
It is Dean Missy behind the plate, and that ball is grounded through the hole. And Topping continues his hot hitting with a 2-out single.
That's the one that you call that C&I single. Little 4-hopper gets through it.
Yeah.
Third base and your shortstop.
Dominic Pandolfo doesn't get much easier for this squad. Pandolfo's 421 on the season, Mitch. 12 ribbies and grounds that ball past the diving shortstop. Elbert, heck of an effort by the shortstop, but gets under the glove and back-to-back singles now for the Lions. After the double play, brings up Kevin Morgan. Morgan hitting .317 early in the season. He's got 13 ribbies and got an opportunity to put one more on his resume there.
It's a good visit.
Got time?
It's a good visit. Making sure they're on the same page with a runner at second base.
Right,
like that. Yeah, this is big here, after being able to twist a double play and then being able to, you're one pitch out of the inning or you're one pitch out of, letting the inning continue and being down a run. Big pitch here.
And 2 here, Mitch. That's a strike on the outside corner. You look at this lineup here for East, from Topping, Pandolfo, Morgan to Cleathermos. These are big bats.
Competitive.
Yes. Grounded to the shortstop, comes up, Elbert. Oh, and Vetter can't pick that one. On the air, the run is going to score. So the throwing error gets a run home.
Ryan.
That's good composure by your pitcher here. You can tell that he's a veteran guy. Get your ground ball. It's disappointing. He obviously throws it away, but he's just going to come right back after. You like to see that in your pitching staff.
Morgan with another RBI. It's outside. Cleathermos at the plate.
First spot here, Ryan. Looking for a spot.
2-0. And, Mitch, you see this all the time. Tice has had a really good season. This young man is pitching very well. If you're going to get after a good pitcher, you got to get him early.
Early. Yeah, you could see it right now. He just took a big, deep breath, which is huge, knowing himself there. But he had kind of been rushing the last 2 pitches.
3-0. I wish coaches, even in high school, would let these kids go a little bit on that 3-0. Oh! Well, I'll keep my mouth shut now. That off speed was hanging a little bit too much over the plate, Mitch.
Yeah, with the wind blowing out like that, don't want that getting in that air too too big, that thing will get out of here. That wind's back to blowing pretty strong.
So an RBI 2-out single for Ryan Cleathermos. It's a 2-0 ball game. Brings up Tyler Cleathermos, the younger brother of Ryan. Saw this young man play for the St. Louis Prospects back in the 14U days of Game 7 baseball. This is a lot of fun. It's cool. That's what I mean. You know, I've seen this young man playing since he was a younger.
That's what's exciting.
Fouled back out of play.
For me, as being back into the 14U age group, I'll be able to see these guys, you know, working games with you and watching these future spotlights. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, 0-2. I like this. He got a little wider. Just keeping that short stroke. And a little flare is going to get down. Morgan coming to the plate. Throw is offline. Cleathermos takes advantage and gets to second base. And the Lions grab a 3-0 lead here with 2 outs.
Free bases. Remember, if you eliminate them, we're out of this inning. It's 0-0. But that's why you play the game, right?
It is. And a ground ball ends the inning, but not before East takes advantage and takes the lead. We're going to the bottom of the first inning. Score Lions 3, Blue Jays coming up. All right, folks, we're going to set the lineup here offensively for the Washington Blue Jays. Leading off, number 18, Ryan Williams. In the 2-hole, number 14, Ben Losing. In the 3-hole, number 10, Mason Tice. In the 4-hole, number 15, Henry Vetter. In the 5-hole, number 11, Colton Carrier. In the 6-hole, number 22, Ben, I'm going to butcher this, I believe Gellinus. In the 7-hole, number 6, Andrew Elbert. In the 8-hole, number 2, Scott Nakai. In the 9-hole, number 13, Aiden Hopfinsberger. Got it out. Set the defense here for the East Lions. On the mound, Carter Hollingsworth. Behind the plate, Dominic Pandolfo. At first base is Tyler Cleathermos. At second base is Jackson Bingham. At shortstop, Travis Hill. At third base, Kevin Morgan. In right field, Carson Topping. In center is Ryan Cleathermos. And in left field is Brady Koppenhaver. So that's the setup there. Ball 1 to Ryan Williams, the leadoff here for Washington. And that is a little flare. It's going to push back. There you go. That's a nice play. Didn't overrun it.
Well-coached group there. I love what the catcher just did. I don't know if everybody could see that on there, but how the catcher got over to the fence to help out the first baseman, let him know he had plenty of room. Love that.
Our C&B St. Louis player spotlight for this inning is the aforementioned Carter Hollingsworth. This young man having a pretty good season so far here, Mitch.
There you go, Carter.
And he's quickly 0-2. He's dealing a little bit. Mr. Hollingsworth is 2-0 on the season with a 1.65 ERA.
That's good.
17 innings, Right? Yeah, that'll play. Little change up, doesn't quite get it.
I think that's just a hard slider, Brian.
2-2 to Lousing. What's that?
It looks like a hard slider to me.
Is it? Hadn't located it yet.
Go, stay on top.
I always like the opponent batting average against when you're talking about a young man like this at a 2.27. And I remember Carter Hollingsworth traveling with that squad. He was young. I think he was a freshman. He pitched a little bit for him on that Final Four team.
There you go.
Oh, late swing. And Lousing is down on strikes for out number 2.
I think he was expecting him to flip that slider back up there. That was late. A little Louisiana. That's a little Bayou.
I like it. I like the Blue Bayou reference. That's pretty good.
This young man has a tremendous amount of run. I don't know how much of this you guys can see or not. He's got a lot of run on his baseball.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Yep.
You could see that they're giving up on that outside corner right away, and then the ball just dips right back in there.
Absolutely.
There is no pitch clock for this young man needed.
Don't need one.
Nope, we saw this
He's
last
just
week with
pumping.
Eli. Oh, hands.
That is.
You might need to borrow your hands, Brian. Sawed off. If that was wood, it's gone. Destroyed.
That's a little off the plate there.
I think that was your change up there. I think he's throwing maybe a little splitty or something.
Mm-hmm. So Tice with the 2-out walk.
Number 30 is courtesy runner.
Number 30. Let's get you a number here for that one. Number 30 is Cooper Gus. Running for the pitcher.
Sorry. There you go.
Our player of the game spotlight, or not player of the game, but player of the inning. There it is. Our player spotlight. How's that? Carter Hollingworth, brought to you by C&B Bank STL. That's outside. Banking for you. We appreciate their support and working with us. If you want a bank that answers when you call, a mortgage without a mystery, or access to business capital without any surprises, visit one of C&B St. Louis Bank's 6 area locations or online at cnbstl.com. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Vetter.
And we talked about this Sunday, I think, at the semifinal game, the second semifinal game, about the catchers just kind of catching and sticking.
Mm-hmm.
Topping's doing a real nice job of just kind of sticking the pitch where it's at instead of trying to move it all over the place.
Think about it, here, this young man behind the plate, he's just a sophomore.
They got a couple young guys that are filling in this year.
Yep.
Is that correct? A
That
couple
is correct,
2026s?
and I believe Tyler Cleathermos at first base is a sophomore. Kevin Morgan at third base, sophomore. This is a very young squad. Oh, that was nasty. Got him to chase. So after the 2-out walk, the strikeout to Vetter, we're going to the top of the second inning. Score 3-0 Lions. folks, if you enjoy watching some baseball and some baseball talk, last night, Mitch, we had our third Press Box Live show. I enjoyed doing that. I like the live on the Monday. I had our crack YBM insiders, Joe Hartke from St. John Vianney, Evan Shank, who will be out here working with us today on the show. It was a lot of fun. We had a special guest, Scott McGee, head coach at Willard, joined us for a little plug there, talking about the Southwest. So we had a good show. It was a lot of fun. Enjoyed that one. We'll be back this coming Monday night, the Press Box, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you tune in. It's live. We're looking at Mitch. We were going to get Mitch, but he's coaching too, so he has to pick his poison.
I have
right?
to. Yeah, it was after if you saw us play on Sunday, we had to practice on Monday.
Yeah, you was a bit fired up there, bro.
A little.
So leading off for the Lions here in the top of the second inning is Brady Copenhaver. On deck, the leadoff, Travis Hill. Two balls, no strikes. Gets the corner. 2 balls and a strike now.
I really like how both batteries for both Washington and East are working together.
Well, that's a good spinner right there, Mitch.
Yeah, 2-1. You ain't expecting that.
No.
I like that.
That's a bold pitch.
Shoot. I like it. He took a swing like it was 2-0.
I like the little.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, that was close. Close, 3-2. I think Tice, that's the pitch he wants, right?
I think that maybe if the catcher's up a little bit more,
Mm-hmm,
maybe that helps him, but.
Spun it. Oh,
Yeah,
that took a spin. Tice has got to get there, though. He's got to get there.
Cannot give up on it. That's a lesson learned for all of you young players out there that are watching, coaches, parents. You could take that and go, we never give up as pitchers. Ball hit to the right side, you go no matter what till you're told to stop. He knows that.
Yes. So the leadoff runner on, I guess somebody's maybe give him a hit, but I think that's an error.
Oh, yeah. That's high school baseball, Brian. It's definitely an error.
Yeah. I mean, it was a tough play, but Vetter recovered well, and then Tice, as you said, lesson learned. Got to cover. Don't assume. Two balls, no strikes.
I understand. It is still high school, and
yes.
That is a tough play for a high school kid, but I think it needs to be made.
Oh, it's got to become that second nature as a pitcher. You get that ball hit on that side, you go until you can, he calls you off.
Yep.
Right. And we've seen some major leaguers do that here recently too, right?
Yeah.
In the World Series.
Yeah. It allowed your Dodgers to score like 8 runs. So you'll take it as a Dodgers fan, I'm guessing.
Oh, you take whatever the team will give you, right? I don't care if you're a Cardinals fan, if you're this fan or that fan or whoever fan. If the opposing team is going to give you a bag, you take it.
Free bases.
That's right, baby.
Eliminate them, folks. Do what you can. I know it's hard to throw strikes, but eliminate walks, errors, and you have a good opportunity to win baseball games.
So here is Jackson Bingham, and he pops it up but gets it down. And there it is. Bunt single. Coach Hill putting the pressure on.
This is
working to make that defense execute a play, and here comes Coach Gough.
It's a good visit. I think he's a little frustrated. Coach might be a little frustrated with his pitcher. I think he was supposed to cover third base line.
So an error, a hit by pitch, and a bunt single has the bases loaded with no outs.
And let me ask you this. Let's talk scoring.
Yeah.
That's a sacrifice bunt, in my opinion, not a bunt single.
Huh. I get that, but yeah. But there, to me, it's still a hit. He didn't. The only time it's a sacrifice, I believe, in scoring, and you fans out there, let us know. I think I'm right. I'm not sure. Is if he gets it out, then it's a sack, considered sack. But if he reaches, it's a single.
The good thing with the smart device is I can look that up while we're
Mitch
waiting.
Going, you don't want to let the fans in on it, bro?
No, they can
Okay.
go first. I'll just wait.
Comment below.
But I believe it's
We'll,
an over.
we'll come back. Hey, that's the question of the day, right?
Yeah.
That's a
how do
good
you
question.
score
I like that.
an attempted sacrifice bunt
Mm-hmm.
if he reaches safely without a mistake?
Yeah.
There was no mistakes made, so it's not a reach on error.
So Carson Topping, the guy that is swinging the hottest bat,
Yeah, 21 ribbies, 2 dingers.
right?
Not the guy you want.
This is not the guy you want to see right here. He's
If you're
hitting
Washington.
.533. And right down there it is, right on cue. And Topping is headed into second. The throw comes into third and away from him. And a bases loaded 2 RBI double for Carson Topping, and East is rolling with a 5-0 lead. Dominic Pandolfo at the plate now. Still nobody out. Second and third. Ball 1 to Pandolfo. This young kid, man, I like this. He's got he's not just singles, take strike, but he's got 6 doubles of his 16 hits. That's a pretty good percentage right there.
Yeah, take that, right? Over half your at-bats are extra bases.
He fist one over the drawn in infield, and that's going to score 2. Here comes the throw, and overthrows the cut, gives Pandolfo second base, and 2 more runs are scored, and it's 7-0.
Yeah, that's tough too because you don't want to give up too many runs. So as a defense, you almost got to come up gunning, but you got to keep it down so that it appears that the ball can be cut by your middle infield or first baseman, whoever's making that cut.
Absolutely.
Once you send it in the air and you realize it's not cuttable, you're definitely taking off.
Kevin Morgan pops it foul. Is it going to push back? Not enough to push it back. It's out of play. Morgan has 4 extra base hits on the season. Takes a ball inside. 1-1. The Lion hitters have not greeted Tice with any kind of pleasantries.
They are definitely eliminating a side of the plate.
Yes.
And not missing.
That's a good take on that curveball and a stolen base. That's a tough pitch to take. That was a good curveball, and Morgan spit on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think there was a steal that was there, so maybe he was taken all the way.
2-2 with 2 strikes.
Well, with 1.
Oh, we couldn't lay off that one. And so Morgan down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Ryan Cleathermos at the plate.
I was watching Coach Hill, and Coach Hill was working with his second base runner at the time, so I don't know if it was
Ground ball is going to get the – he's going to first. Trade the run for the out. Second out of the inning, and it's an 8-0 ball game. 5 runs here so far in the top of the second inning.
So you think about free bases, and we've talked about this numerous times over the last week. I know it's like, I'm sure you're getting sick of me saying this, but nobody communicated when that kid took off for third base.
Right.
The throw was late. And he stole that bag. And if he didn't steal that bag, that's not a run scored with 2 outs, assuming same ground ball. Smell the cap.
There it is. Smell it. Hey, that's good hustle.
I just think it's small details like that you just can't give away bases.
1 ball and a swing way out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the out gave up the run, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you gave away the 2-2, eliminate the running game. And you have a young team in Washington who's struggling right now. Oh, good curve.
Oh, he missed.
Foul ball.
Dropped it.
Didn't hang on to it.
Who said almost? Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Or atomic bombs, I guess. You could throw that
Go
in
win
there
it now.
nowadays, right?
I think that just destroys whole areas.
That's pretty almost, right?
Yeah.
3-2. Oh, good
Back to it.
change.
Yeah, I think he's got a little overhand curveball and maybe a little hard slider that he's throwing. 2 different breaking balls.
That ends the inning on the strikeout of Tyler Clethermus. We're going to the bottom of the second inning, 8-0 Lions. Folks, we have our second player spotlight of the day is pitcher Mason Tice from Washington. I know this young man has struggled here to start, but this is a young man that's had a solid season so far with this team. He's not having the day he'd like to, but our CNB player spotlight is Mason Tice for the Washington Blue Jays. He's 1-3 on the year, 1.75 ERA, and 20 innings of baseball. And so you look at that and you wonder, man, just kind of struggling there a little bit with that. His opponent batting average so far is a $133 on the season. And so what we've seen here is out of character for Mason Tice as number 11 for the Washington Blue Jays steps into the box and fouls the first pitch off. So he's quickly 0-2 to number 11, Colton Carrier. But that is our player spotlight. The Washington pitcher brought to you by, presented by C&B STL Bank. Remember, it's banking for you. If you want a bank that answers you when you call, a mortgage without the mystery or access to business capital without any surprises, visit one of C&B STL Bank's 6 area locations or online at cnbstl.com. So you got to love it when your pitcher comes out after hanging 5 runs and strikes out the first guy.
It's this young man's a gas station.
Ben Galinas, the DH, takes strike 1. It's off the plate.
Just filling it up, Brian.
I love that, though. Don't give him too much there. That was on the chalk. That ain't.
There you go, Carter.
This young man can pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and I love the pace of the game so far, Mitch.
Oh, look at.
Well, to me, that's where the Clethermos let that ball play him. Don't leave that there. Come get it. Come get that ball. You eliminate.
He has got these hitters from Washington
All tied up.
backwards.
He had no idea. I mean, the swing on that was just like, oh my gosh, why didn't I swing?
Well, because he's able to throw every pitch in his arsenal, 4 strikes.
Yes.
It is allowing for swings like that, you know. So when you go up there and you can flip your hard slider, and then you got a softer one. It's super effective.
The motion, it's hard to pick up his pitch, Mitch. Look at it. It just kind of comes out of his ear. It's quick, boom, right on you.
Yeah, and it's got a ton of sink to it, ton of run, and that's why you're seeing the balls off the hands, or off the.
That's good. That's good. I like that. That's
quick.
safety. It's a little too fast. I agree. Good call, Blue. And that is going to be foul ball. So the hardest hit ball is foul of the day. 2-2, loud strike.
I think he goes back in there. I'd like to see
Get in
that
the kitchen
heater.
a little bit more.
Well, he's got so much run on that heater, and it just continues to open up that slider away.
So Coach Hill is coming out. Talk to the Blue a little bit about that, just to get some clarification. It's a good conversation here, because I think everybody's clarifying what their position is. Blue's saying, hey, I'm thinking about safety. And Coach Hill, he's talking about, hey, his rhythm of his pitcher and what he wants. So it's good clarification right there. That's just a good conversation.
Hey, baby, Carter. Here we go, babe.
Gotta like that, right, Mitch?
Yeah, I think one of the things that you could do to stop that is, obviously, if you're a hitter, you come in with your hand up.
Yep.
If you need that much time.
Andrew Elbert, the shortstop. Cue ball shot to the second baseman.
Boy, there we go.
And another 1-2-3 inning for Carter Hollingsworth. Had that change up there. And we're heading to the bottom of the top of the third inning. Score 8-0 East. All right, folks, Thursday we will be at Oakville for our St. Louis Suburban Game of the Week. Parkway Central visiting Oakville, the Tigers, and we're looking forward to a fun game down there. I believe we got a 4:30 start. 4:15, 4:30. We'll clarify that here in just a minute. But make sure you tune in Thursday. St. Louis Suburban Game of the Week. Mitch, you got some stuff about the catcher here that you've been observing. Talk to us a little bit.
Yeah, Topping's a young fellow, but he come out there. We saw in the first inning with a little bit of miscommunication on the pitcher getting over there, end up leading into a big inning where even though it was a routine play, you could hear the catcher, yelling at his pitcher to get over there. And we can't forget that there's got to be communication throughout the game. And so I think that was a big play, even though it didn't, pitcher didn't impact that play necessarily. Mm-hmm. But to be able to talk about it, I think was a good sign of a educated, high IQ catcher.
Chase Center at the plate, 3-0. Tice is still struggling with the strike zone here, Mitch. Four-pitch walk to open up the top of the third inning.
Yep, I think this might be it for him. Nope, he's going to let him go out there. Coach Gough looked like he was getting up to.
He's getting ready to. He's getting a guy out in the bullpen right now. So
it's just one of those days when you're out there and you don't have it, you just don't have it. And as a coach, you got to pick and choose, how many pitches you can save on a year. You know what I mean? And he ain't got it. It happens.
Copenhaver at the plate. Takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to the 9-hole hitter. Travis Hill on deck. Into the netting.
You got to catch
that. And it was so interesting, Mitch. You go back to the first inning, and East had got the leadoff on. They eliminate it with a double play, and it's just like, what just happened, right?
Yep. Yeah, Sissel talked about it last week, just being able to find little spots in the field where, defenders ain't. They were able to do that on 3 batted baseballs. We had a little miscommunication.
3-2. I was going to say, where's he going?
Good. Now you got stolen base. Yeah, so stay on the base. Chase it.
Yeah, I was wondering. He started going down the line. I'm like, well, that's just a 3-2 count. And he takes off, and then everybody stops. He would have been out. Everybody, awareness, baseball awareness. Cued foul. We'll do it again, full count. Coach Hill making sure his runner stays at second base. You don't go back to first.
Yeah, everybody in a park is screaming. It's like, what are we screaming at? And everybody just gets confused.
Exactly. And that's where a runner, maybe sometimes a young runner, gets confused. Curveball.
Well, it's natural.
Right? He just heads back to first, right?
Well, he also saw the guy running down the line. So he's like, whatever, just take down. But this is, again, it goes back to all things communication. Should he connected with his coach? Should he, been paying attention to the plate umpire or even asked if, yep.
Yeah. No pitch, 3-2. Yeah, he did not set. It's a good call. 3-2. Runner advances to third. Tice is just having his struggles today.
Frustrating start.
Yeah. You kind of feel for the kid. Good pitch. Little relief there to see that on his face,
deep
right?
Breath. He'll rebound from this too, and then he should be able to learn from it. I think so his team, so Coach Gough. Like, that's a well-coached group.
Absolutely. Travis Hill at the plate for the 3rd time. He's been up in every inning. And when you're a leadoff and you've got 3 at-bats in the 3rd inning already, you're in pretty good shape.
Keys to victory, right?
That's right. 2-0. I think it was number 12 who was warming up over there for. That would be Colton. Oh, just missed it foul. Colton Warnecki.
I'm going to go with Warnecki.
Warnecki? Is it Warnecki?
Well, it's the if it's the Warnecki family that I know.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got 6 innings on the season. He was over there going to the bullpen. We got 2 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter, Hill. He is 0 for on the day, but been on base twice.
It's a good take.
3-2. Scored a run.
Here you go, Travis.
Oh, yeah. That was a good curveball. Frozy.
Jack, go get him early here.
Jackson Bingham at the plate. He is 1 for 2. Run scored with a single. Takes ball 1. 2 outs. Ty's trying to strand that runner at third base.
There you go.
He is really using off speed this inning. He obviously keep falling behind. You keep playing with danger. It leads to that 8-0 score.
There you go, Jackson. Jacko. I'll get the top somehow.
It looks like, Mitch, that he's lost confidence in his fastball. He doesn't feel like he can get it by the hitters.
He's got a good one. I mean, he's got a good high school fastball. Like, you can see Coach Gough over there clapping pretty aggressively. It's like we should have been throwing that already, 4th pitch. You know, right back to it.
All right.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Still a good take.
You might as well throw it again. Yep.
What?
Coach Hill with the nice soft hands.
He looks like an infielder. He actually played baseball against a bunch of guys I played with and against at Lindenwood.
And that is lined into center field. Jackson Bingham coming through with a big 2-strike, 2-out RBI single. And that looks like that's going to do it for
Maybe.
Mason Tice.
Big 2-out hit there, Jacko.
Maybe. Yep, there it is. I'm a little interested in the pitch sequencing there. He obviously threw 1 heater there, but went to the off speed. Even at that 3-2, backed it up again and was able to hit that little soft liner into center field. I think once you go to the well a little too much, man, you give too much information to the athletes, the batter.
That's a tough one, man. That's a tough start for the young man.
Baseball happens.
Yep.
You just you think about you know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Go ahead.
I got 2 words: free bases.
Free bases.
That is 2 words, right?
And you look, at the base on ball there, but in that first inning, it was the base on balls, and that was that. But then he had the hit by pitch. There was the error, and that's where in the second inning it really got away from him.
Yeah.
They earned it in the first inning. They were swinging the bat, earned it, whatnot. But after that, the error in the first inning, I'm sorry. The error on Kevin Morgan allowed that, got the extra runs, and it just kind of seemed to, what would have been different if he gets that ground ball out? No run scored.
No run scored. And then from there, though, you think about the other free bases that are added. When you overthrow a guy, overthrow your cutoff, a guy advances, that run scores. When you're allowing stolen bases to happen, those runs are scoring, instead of being stranded. So
12 for 10.
There was no change made.
No change made?
Or, no, sorry, that was
He
pitcher.
did say
that was
12
the
for
pitcher.
10, yeah.
That was a pitcher.
Yep, 12 for 10.
Topping was 10.
Yeah. That's all right, dude.
My bad.
I do that all the time.
Stay in my lane, right?
No, you're fine. I just was repeating what they'd said out there. Carson Topping here, trying to stay hot. Pops it up into center field. Under it is Lossing.
Good job, Jackson. Good hang out.
And the out made. So, strand a runner, score a run. It's 9-0. We're going to the bottom of the third inning.
I know I didn't do anything wrong, but I'll just play the game.
Youth Baseball Midwest is produced by Red Earth Productions LLC, and also our baseball talk shows every week. Kevin Mulder, we're not going to have one this week because tomorrow we'll be at the G.A.C. Classic all day, starting at 2:00. So we get over to the ballpark early. So we'll miss this week. That's okay. Kevin Mulder, he's running around like a chicken with his head cut off as well. Thursday though, we're doing the new one, the Illinois Baseball Talk Show, talking about high school baseball in Illinois with Diego Solares. So we'll have that on Thursday. So looking forward to that baseball talk. Mitch, as we were coming back from the break, you were talking about the rule. They were talking about the pitcher and the eyes of the batter being on him.
Yeah, you saw Coach Hill come back. He went to the umpire and said, "Hey, I didn't know that was a thing." And you actually saw the pitcher come down and say, "Hey, man, I didn't know the rules. I just like to work fast, kind of, going through that." And he's like, "No big deal. That's why we kind of explain it." So I like all parts of that. Umpire, Coach Hill, the pitcher, everybody kind of acknowledging and learning.
Absolutely.
And not being frustrated.
Leading off here for this Blue Jays squad is number 2, Nakai Scott. Takes ball 1.
There you go.
I will.
Carter.
He evens up to count 1-1, but I'm not gonna lie. I do want to stand in the batter's box against this young man, not to hit against him because I feel like my hands would hurt after I'm done too.
Yep.
I really want to see this young man's movement from behind the dish.
Right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, flipped it up there.
Oh yes.
With the K looking.
Yeah, we call that window shopping.
Number 13, Aiden Hopfensberger. I'm going to say it's slow, dude.
Just call him Hoppy.
Hoppy? I think that would probably be easier, but I don't know him well enough. I don't know. Ball 1. And he does work fast. This pace.
There you go.
And what's interesting is, we talked with Coach Hill before the game, and he had the hamstring issue. Strike 2. And they kind of babied him, but Coach said we had a hard time keeping him down. He wanted to get out and compete.
We got one for that too.
Back-to-back Ks.
What's your favorite place to shop? Buckle?
Dude. Hey, we have another player spotlight presented by CNB St. Louis. And that is strike 1. We got to get this in quick before this inning is over. We have Ben Lousing from the Washington Blue Jays. This young man has been a big part of this program. 2025 senior, hitting .333 on the season. He's got a .400 slugging. He's got double, 3 RBIs, 15 runs scored, and that is a ground ball to the second baseman as we finish. I'm going to finish up my player spotlight real quick, but this young man, Lossing, has also been pitching well for the squad. And just a heck of a good player, senior. Player spotlight for the Washington Blue Jays. We have Ben Lousing, presented by CNB Bank. If you are looking for banking, if you want a bank that answers when you call, a mortgage without the mystery, or access to business capital without any surprises, visit one of CNB St. Louis Bank's 6 area locations or online at cnbstl.com. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning with the score 9-0 East. So tomorrow, which we already said, the last inning, we're going to be out at the G.A.C. North. Ball games tomorrow, G.A.C. Classic North. We've got at 2 o'clock Holt taking on Warrenton. And at the 4:30 game, we got St. Charles visiting Winfield. And then the nightcap.
Yes.
That's ball 1 to Dominic Pandolfo. The nightcap, I think, is going to be the dandy. We got Orchard Farm taking on St. Charles West. Both teams, it'll be interesting to see. I think it's going to be some good games. I'm interested to see that Winfield-St. Charles game. St. Charles, I want to see St. Charles, the Pirates.
Yeah, they've shown to be a little bit better this year, as far as record-wise. I'm not sure on the other teams they faced, in fairness, but you are correct, and that nightcap is going to be a fun one.
And we've had those nightcaps, 7 o'clock games. It's always nice under the lights at G.A.C.
Mm-hmm.
or
Carshield.
Carshield, there it is. And that ball is hammered into center field. Back is Lossing making the catch. Out number 1. I thought that was going to beat him there, Mitch. That was a nice play by Ben Lousing. Our player spotlight.
Yeah, wind's blowing that direction too, so, kind of took off on him a little bit, but he recovered. It's tall.
Kevin Morgan at the plate. He's reached on an error and struck out swinging.
I like this young man on the dish on the mound for Washington.
Little lefty, got a little wrinkles all over the place, right?
Yes, he's a maybe upper 70s, low 80s kind of guy that can just kind of getting it done. Changing speeds. We saw this last week with West, their lefty. I think he throws just hard enough to be, miss barrels.
Very effective, exactly. Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Morgan. Yeah. Swing and a miss for out number 2.
He's got some nice little arm side run into that left-handed batter's box, and he's got some good movement on his fastball, and it's a very effective away to these righties.
That ball's in the dirt to Ryan Cleathermos, who is 1 for 2 today. He's got 2 RBIs. He was stranded at third base in the first inning. He's having a good day at the plate. That is 1 ball, 1 strike now.
You'd like to see him play with a 10-0 lead and get after that pitch. You don't give free strikes away when you're up 10-0.
No. It's going to drop foul.
I like to call them the free heaters.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The free heaters.
Free heater.
Gotta like that on a cold day.
A real heater. I was checking some scores, Brian. It looks like I only got one up now, but it looks like Howell North is continuing to show that they're here this year. Carter Stover's on the bump. They're up 6-1 on Howell Central.
Wow.
In the bottom of 4.
That ball is hit sharply at the shortstop. Good strong throw and a pick by Vetter to end the inning. Nice play by the shortstop, Elbert. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning with the score 9-0 Lions.
Yep.
We got some more scores for you here. Mitch, why don't you throw them out? What do we got around the G.A.C., bro?
Well, just looked at the St. Charles West Orchard Farm. That's their day 1 of their back-to-back. And we got St. Charles West is up. They're in the bottom of the 5th. They're up 3-0 with Orchard Farm batting with runners at first and second with 1 down. You have Warrenton is up on Holt 11-zip. Howell's up on Troy 5-0. North Point against Fort Zumwalt South. North Point's up 4-1. A big score here is Fort Zumwalt West is up 10-0 on Liberty.
The Eagles.
The Eagles. Here's another one I just come in. Fort Zumwalt North, the Panthers are up 3-1 on Timberland.
Oh, wow. That's a walk around the G.A.C.
Some of it.
Ben Lossing at the plate here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and I know we missed it, so we'll get to our second player spotlight here with Carson Topping. So hold that, guys. I missed that.
Blame that on me.
No. We'll come back to it. The guy, the crew in there is probably going, "Yep, we knew it." Two balls and a strike to Ben Lossing. Did you hear Pandolfo? I thought that was interesting. My bad. Talking about framing. So a leadoff walk for the Blue Jays. Brings up number 12, who came in for Tice, Warnicki. Colton Warnicki.
There you go.
Big swing and a miss. Good fastball upstairs. Couldn't quite catch up to it. This is only the second base runner Washington's had.
Still got a ton of life in that heater.
0-2. He does, doesn't he?
I just like the way that baseball moves. Everything he throws moves.
And you see this young man, he's going to get stronger. That's a great throw, and he's out. So Pandolfo races the base on balls with a strike to Travis Hill, and the out made for number 1. Caught stealing. And that is ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And strike 3 on the outside corner. That's only 2 outs, Dominic.
We got 3 in this league.
That's one of my favorites. We play 3
Thanks
in
for
this
helping
league.
out, Coach.
It's a good throw, but strike 1 here, Holly. There you go.
Vetter swings through the off speed. He's been starting with that fastball, and he just flung a couple off-speed pitches up there. Mitch just has Vetter all kinds of crinkled.
Yeah, I just think the hitters from Washington are a little unsettled in the batter's box. They don't have a real approach. You heard Coach in this inning after the first hitter that was up here. He was looking at his guys, trying to talk them into having somewhat of an approach.
There you go.
That pitch is too darn good.
So the second K of the inning, we're going to the top of the 5th inning, score 9-0 Lions. Folks, make sure you tune in to the press box every Monday. Not every Monday, but when we do it, which we're trying to do it every Monday. We missed the one, but Monday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, live. The press box, talking baseball around the state, rankings, updated rankings. We update the rankings on that. We check out who's hot, who's not. Talk about some players, get some coaches in. It's a lot of fun. Check us out live, 6 p.m. Mondays on Youth Baseball Midwest. Hit the subscribe button while you're here. Hit that dinger, right, Mitch?
That's what we do,
We hit dingers, baby.
especially
That's
when
right.
the wind's blowing out.
Carson Topping here, our CNB St. Louis player spotlight for the Zumwalt East Lions. This young man is having himself a season, Mitch.
Get it started here, bud.
Carson Topping is hitting .533, and he's got a hit and 2 RBIs here today. .533, .580 on base percentage, .844 slug. He's got 20 runs scored, 6 doubles, a triple, 2 bombs, and 21 ribbies before this game started.
Yeah, he added to those today.
That's video game numbers, bro.
That's that rookie level on MLB's show, though. I'm kidding. I have no idea what that means.
Could be.
I just wanted to make sure he was back, keep him on earth.
Exactly.
Because baseball's a funny game because you can have a year like this and then turn around next year and it just nothing falls for you.
Right?
But I believe he's going to be a player to watch.
This young man was also the starting quarterback for the Fort Zumwalt East Lions. He transferred over from Francis Howell, and so and Coach Hill told me before the game he hadn't played in a couple years, baseball. So here you have this young man coming into this year just hitting the cover off the baseball. Gotta love it, Mitch.
Maybe sometimes that's what you need is just kind of a fresh start, something new.
Right?
That's a good pitch.
So the leadoff walk for Tyler Cleathermos starts the inning as our player spotlight presented by CNB St. Louis Bank. Banking for you. If you want a bank that answers when you call, a mortgage without the mystery, or access to business capital without any surprises, visit one of the CNB St. Louis Bank's 6 area locations or online at cnbstl.com. Strike 1 to Chase Center.
I'm going to ask you about that move as an umpire. If he
Yeah.
takes a deep breath and that glove goes up and down, do you call it?
That's a tough one. No, you should, because you're not supposed to. That's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Let's go,
That's
Chase.
what I thought it was. Yep. But
Coach
they're
Hill
going to
does
do
not
that.
haters count.
They're going to do this. They're going to call that at the major league level, college level. Sometimes in high school you don't see it, right? 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Maybe I'm missing that too because, in what's different than when I played, you see a lot of pitchers kind of making little double moves, like a continuous move, and then come set.
Grounded to the pitcher, goes to second base for the out.
Oh, that's good baseball. It's just good baseball.
And I didn't think he went past the bag. Did you, Mitch? I got blocked a little bit, and that's what Coach Gough is asking, if he went past the bag, and home plate umpire said no. So, play on. So 6 unassisted at second base. Takes Clethermus off the base paths on the fielder's choice. And that looks like could be 2. Center down. No.
There you go, Brady. Way to get
The
that
speed
line.
of Koppenhaver. Another fielder's choice. And the 4-6 for out number 2. Center goes to the dugout. But it gets back to the top of the order with Travis Hill.
Brian, I really like the adjustment the shortstop made there. He was able to get on that feed from that second baseman. And I know the previous one, the pitcher kind of led him to the outfield, left field side of that bag, but he was able to learn from the last one, get around that, and fire a pretty good velo across the diamond over there at first. Like that adjustment from the defender.
Gave himself an opportunity to make
time.
a play. Yeah.
Plus, he probably didn't want to wear one in the shin again.
Hill down 0-2. Yes. Bottom of the 5th inning. Blue Jays coming up 9-0 Lions. Folks, we got one more player spotlight presented by C&B St. Louis Bank for the Washington Blue Jays, and that would be Mr. Ben Galinas. Mr. Galinas offensively has been one of the bright spots for this squad. He's hitting .280 on the year, .514 on base percentage. He's got 4 ribbies, 2 doubles, and he scored 4 runs. And as we've seen, they've tried to he's had his opportunities as this team has struggled offensively, as we see number 11 Colton Carrier at the plate. Galinas has been a bright spot for him and has been worthy of our player spotlight presented by C&B St. Louis Bank, banking for you.
There you go.
Check out one of 6 area locations if you want answers when you call, mortgage without mystery, or access to business capital without any surprises. And that ball gets under Kevin Morgan for a leadoff single for Colton Carrier.
Is it the first one of the day for them? First hit?
I think, yes. He reached on a base on balls. Yeah, it was 2 walks before this. So the first hit of the game for the Blue Jays comes from Carrier.
I really like this young man on the mound. He just looked at his third baseman and says, let's go, let's roll it up. He could get that over again. He would like to have that back. He probably makes that play.
Here's our player spotlight for this inning. Ben Galinas, he squares to bunt, pulls back, takes strike one. I like that high fastball on that bunt right there, but it was competitive strike.
We're going slider here.
Think so?
Yeah, it's where he's been at all day.
Giving a couple looks to
I like the
Carrier
game.
over there. There it is. Had him out front, and that is, heck of a play out there by Koppenhaver. And
Got him.
doubles him up.
Good job,
For out number 2, Carrier got a little carried away. Got a bad read on that. Thought it was going to drop, but Koppenhaver out there with some big-time speed erases the 2 players with 1 play. 2 outs.
He walked to the dugout and said, whoever said it was down was wrong. I don't know if you guys can pick that up or not. That play's in front of you, though. You got to be able to have a read.
Yes, I agree. Quickly 2-0 to Andrew Elbert, the shortstop.
Good pitch. It's all right.
Throw it again.
All the way back.
Yeah, 100%. 3-0, though. But
That looked really good.
this is my first time watching this young man on the bump, and I am going to tell the rest of the league, you got to pay attention to this guy.
Yeah, if you got to
Fans
face him, you're in trouble.
Yeah, fans all. Obviously it's week to week, but he has got a lot of movement on his pitches.
You're gonna have trouble with the East if he's on the mound,
Oh yeah,
because
especially
they're swinging the bats well right now, Mitch.
yeah. Well, you only needed one so far.
Right.
All the extras are bonuses.
But this was the question mark going into the season, in my opinion, for the Lions. It wasn't so much. I know they're young, but offensively they swing the bats well, and it shows in up and down.
Yep.
But the pitching was the question mark. But Hollingsworth right here has shown he is a definite number one.
Well, when you lose a guy like Pyle, and you know that's a big arm for your club, and you lose a guy like that, you know, how do you replace it? So.
With that guy.
Exactly, with that guy.
Oh, mercy. A line drive. Had that one up. That's a nice piece of hitting there by Nakai Scott, second baseman.
Big deal, Carter. Reset.
This is the thing that I like about how the conference does the back-to-backs. Even though that East is up 9-0 in this position, Washington still has something to battle for because you have to play again tomorrow.
That's correct.
And so you just can't keep giving away at bats. You got to keep competing because, again, you are playing them tomorrow.
Yep.
You know, and you can return the favor.
Right in on the hands to
that went
Aiden Hopfinsberger. Hopfinsberger. Got to say it a couple times just to make sure you do it right.
This is where I would like to see some of the adjustments by the Washington hitters. He's throwing, 2-3 sliders in at bat. And I think I would just lay off the heater.
Yeah.
As a competing against this young man, because one, I probably couldn't hit it.
Hunt that off speed.
Yeah, and because he's at least missing one of them every batter. They're up.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that's the thing is you can't get him to 2 strikes. So if you're going to swing at that slider, you got to make sure you hit it, because now, as a hitter, I'm toast.
Yeah. Yeah.
With 2 strikes with this young man, I don't know what he's going to throw.
Long look at the runner at second. Fastball. We're going to the top of the sixth inning score, 9-0 Lions. Folks, we want to make sure we give a shout-out. Since we're in Washington, one of the best Legion posts around is the Washington Post 218. Those guys have been winning a lot for a while, Mitch. You're aware of that, aren't you?
Yeah, they were winning when they're in a different district than I was when I played, but they've always had that kind of that homegrown big athlete that when you came down here and everybody loves Legion baseball down here. And it's pretty exciting to have experienced part of that as a player, now as a coach, and now as a fan.
Exactly. And so we will see that Washington Post 218 in the Centennial Games. We're going to see them playing against Sedalia, another good program, Sedalia. Post 642 on June 11th. We got our Centennial Games coming up June 11th, June 18th. June 25th, a celebration of 125 years of American Legion baseball.
That's crazy to me.
100 years, man.
I'll be honest with you. When you said that to me earlier this year, I was thinking about what could we do.
Strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
To get some of us that have played this game against
You
each
gotta
other.
come out, yeah.
No, not to come out.
To play?
To play again. Like an old-timers game.
Little Thoman Booth action, right?
Well, there's just, you see it all over the community right now. You got a bunch of these guys that are returning to coaching. They got young kids, and so they're coaching anywhere from the, 10U levels up to the high school levels. And
yeah.
Legion baseball dominated, up into the early 2000s. So
Yep.
There's a lot of guys that had played professional baseball in that group, and
that is a hard hit, 2-strike single lead off for Jackson Bingham.
And now our kids are playing against each other, and I think that's pretty awesome to going up against guys like Ben Caffey over at Kirkwood, and now his kids playing in the elite levels, just following his footsteps. I think it's pretty awesome.
We got Ellsbury, Alton, Illinois coming over to play. Jeff City's coming over, Kirkwood. We got Eureka, St. Peter's, Moberly. Got a great lineup of games set up for the month of June. So we're going to be celebrating American Legion baseball with the Centennial Games out at the WAC. So make sure you check us out. We're going to be live streaming some baseball. We're looking forward to the Centennial Games.
I'm thinking slow pitch though. I don't think I can hit a heater anymore, and I'm not sure how any of our bodies would hold up.
2 balls, 1 strike now to Carson Topping, who is 2 for 3 today. A double, a single, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, having himself a day. Ooh. And he just missed one. 2-2 now. Mitch like, I want it back.
Oh, yeah, because he'd have hit that house or whatever that is over there.
2-2 to Topping. On deck, Pandolfo. And that is another single.
Darren Sissel talked about this last week.
Let me grab this real quick because I want to do this. This is our last player spotlight of the game, and it is the young man striding to the plate in Dominic Pandolfo, presented by CNB St. Louis Bank. Mr. Pandolfo, 421, 551, 579. That's well over 1,000. That's 1,100 OPS, Mitch. He's got 5 runs scored, 6 doubles, and hammers one off the fence. Topping, rounding second. Oh, my gosh. There it is. Player spotlight. Boom. Presented by C&B St. Louis Bank. And Pandolfo delivers an RBI double. Bangs it off the wall for his, it looks like now his 14th RBI of the season. If you're looking for banking for you, if you want answers when you call a mortgage without mystery or access to business capital without any surprises, visit one of C&B St. Louis Bank's 6 area locations or online at cnbstl.com. Man, he delivered, didn't he?
Yeah, right on time.
Player spotlight. Boom.
I love these things. You know, you hit a baseball like that, you hit it pretty clean. And, you know, if he just pulls that just a hair, that probably is going to hit the house.
Oh, my goodness.
Because if you hit it just a little more out front, you know, it gets that light tower power.
Yep. And Oppo, is it going to stay fair? It is not caught, and it is a fair ball. Kevin Morgan on his way to second base, heading to third. The throw is in time, but not before topping. And the courtesy runner,
Number 14.
I got to get the number. I'm sorry, I looked over. That is number 14. Hit the wrong button there. Number 14. Grant Bishop scores. So a 2 RBI double for Kevin Morgan. He's thrown out at third, trying to stretch it into a triple. Thermos.
They are sitting dead red first pitch here. The last 3 batters have all come up and put good swings on.
$12-0 now. Lions. Thermos at the plate. We got to start talking players of the game. I'm loving the pitcher, of course.
Me too. And actually, to be quite honest with you, I would love to give it to Battery, just because I thought the work between the two. I don't.
Pandolfo, whatnot.
Yeah, I just don't think that you have one without the other. I think the catcher did a really nice job of controlling that game for the pitcher, and obviously pitcher executed his spots. But
yeah, I'll tell you who I like for Washington is Warnicki. He's come in. I mean, he just gave up the big hit there, but he has pitched very well. So Carrier must have thought it was 3 outs and was heading to the dugout, and the catcher throw down to throw it around.
I was waiting for the other side to say, hey, we played 3 here.
Number 27 is hitting for Tyler Thermos. 27 is Michael Getmeyer.
Ball 2-7.
Takes a while to write that out.
Mm-hmm. We have a update, I guess. I'm not sure which one.
Strike one to Getmeyer.
But Seckman against Webster Groves.
Oh, yeah.
Tied 3-3.
Oh, wow.
Late in that ball game.
Webster Groves duking it out with Seckman.
Yeah, they were actually down 3-1 last time I looked, so they came back.
Quickly 0-2 to the pinch hitter, Getmeyer. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So I like Warnicki, player of the game. You want to do the Battery for East?
Oh, we don't have to.
I'm okay with that.
Well,
that's up to you. But I definitely love the thought process there. I mean, offensively, everybody's contributed, right?
Yeah, I think that the two of them did such a good job of their pitch sequencing, the way that they framed some of the small details. Now that's just a personal thing.
Both over.
Well, that's just personal because I'm obviously a
You're a
former
catcher. You gotta
so I don't-
give some love to the catcher. Baby.
I don't think the pitcher does as well without his catcher. So
Swing and a miss. Good fastball by Warnicki to finish the inning there. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Score 12-0 Lions.
It's gonna be a good one.
Gonna be a good one.
Definitely a different type of process.
Cut down or freeze up.
Being a coach's son.
Jackson, of course, they keep retooling. One stolen base, a hit by pitch. Oh my goodness. Mitch, we got G.A.C. Classic all next week. Central, South, Tuesday, Wednesday, big games. Got to tune in tomorrow, the North. Next week, Central, South. Got some great games. Everybody tune in to Youth Baseball Midwest. If you can't make it out to Cars Shield Field, make sure you check it out. We're going to talk a little bit about our player of the game because, honestly, right now, this could be it if Washington can't score 4 runs. So, player of the games, Mitch, what do you got for me?
I think the current pitchers of record for both teams for me. That simple. This young man
I
on
agree.
I keep saying the dish, but on the bump for East has been a pleasure to watch today.
1 ball, 1 strike, and Colton Warnicki come in after and really settled in. Had the nasty. That was nasty.
To be this position in the game,
1 ball, 2 strikes. But Warnicki, I know he gave up the runs there, but he did a really nice job coming in, settle down, and put up a couple zeros.
Yeah, that's a good offensive team too,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a big step in his confidence.
And that is off the end of the bat. Going to be a tough play for Morgan.
Oh, what a play! Oh,
And he's safe. He's off the bag.
Nice pick, Michael. Come on, let's go. You're around.
So I'm going to give you why I want to give him the player of the game for sure right now.
Roll it.
Okay.
His third baseman last inning that had that ball scored under his glove, and then this
Yep.
play right here, he literally looked at him and said, "Turn the page, let's go."
I love that.
It's a leadership.
Ben Losing, the center fielder.
And he just did it again and looked at him and just talked to him again, just let him know he's all right. I think that's just a big sign
And
of
two,
leadership.
You got a sophomore over there. I mean, you still got to think that's a sophomore over there. That's senior leadership. He's the pitcher. Absolutely, Mitch. That's some maturity, right?
Yeah, well, you don't see it that often in today's game, in kind of just pre-pitch communication or even picking each other up. Not that it's just a different generation of baseball. And I'm learning that very quickly. I learn it every year, I guess. But I just can really appreciate that as a guy that's made my fair share of mistakes on the field. Having a pitcher have your back is big.
Because it's a lot of times the other way around, right?
Yeah.
2 balls, 1 strike. Hollingsworth working to finish this game. Remember, in our postgame, we'll have our player of the game interviews. Don't go nowhere. Our player of the game, also presented by CNB STL, banking for you.
Do we know where Hollingsworth's going to school next?
I'm going to have to look that up, Mitch.
I'll see if he's on Instagram or X. If not, I'm going to ask him after the game.
Absolutely, we can do that. We're going to interview him anyway, right? 3-2. Full count. Losing having a good at bat here. Nice battle. Runner at first. Williams gets a lead. Not a steal lead. Doesn't go. Oh! Outstanding off speed. Gets Losing chasing for out number 1. Colton Warnicki at the plate now. Or we got another pitch hitter. Hang on just a second, Mitch. Let me. Tice is re-entering.
Drop ball here, Carter.
Carter Hollingsworth. So Tice back at the plate. Vetter on deck. Fastball, strike 1.
The joy of social media. Carter is heading to State Fair. He's going to be a road runner.
State Fair?
Which is playing some really good baseball this year.
Yes, they are. Sam Pauley just signed at, Washington alum, signed with Missouri Baptist. That's a good, I like that.
There you go.
Boy, he hits you outside with that fastball, comes back on the inside and breaks back over the plate for a strike. That's tough, Mitch.
And this is why I was saying, like, I wanted to give it to Battery, but I do see an earpiece in. I don't want to take that away from him, but change.
It's away from Pandolfo. That's the first mistake we've seen by the catcher there.
Just the sequencing and execution. He's got such a movement, arm side, and he's throwing it in the white of the left-handed batter's box, and it's hitting that black. I mean, it's a 2-inch, 3-inch move. Movement on his back towards the plate, and so you just think about that, and then you throw your slider off that, and it's like you just wave at it. It's perfect pitch sequencing. And I bet you if we could go see the overlays of these pitches, it would just look nasty.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Which
2
one is
ties.
it? Is it going to go left or is it going to go right?
You can go with this or you can go with that.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure as a Blue Jay today, I would just be tipping my cap.
Spun that pretty good. Didn't get the chase. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
He's just better than everybody on the field today.
It's going to be a challenge fastball, I think, Mitch. I think a challenge fastball here. I think
he's going to spin it again.
You think he's going to spin it?
Yeah, it's been his MO all day.
Nope. Fastball just didn't quite get it over the plate. I thought that's right. Here, if you can hit it, do it.
Ground ball.
So a single to K, a base on balls. Coach Hill coming out to talk to his pitcher. Working a little bit harder here.
Yeah, I think it's just a numbers game. See kind of where he's at, and he's probably got a guy loose.
He hasn't thrown a lot of pitches. Now, I'm not just sitting here counting, but he hasn't had a lot of deep counts, Mitch.
No.
If you look at Game Changer, you probably see.
Well, I didn't pay for Game Changer.
How many pitches is he at, guys? 95? About. I like the honesty, young man. Good job.
It happens.
I missed them all. So he may only have one more batter, Mitch.
Yeah, I think it's 105. Finish the batter.
Yeah. So the first trip to the mound. So, and he's probably talking to him, hey,
It looks like it's actually at 92.
92. That's probably closer to what it is. But they might have missed a couple. Game Changer.
I like.
So Vetter is struck out twice.
I like the push a little bit here on him. Just getting him to maybe that 100 pitch mark.
Oh, he got the curveball. cut off by Koppenhaver, and the throw in. So, RBI single for Henry Vetter gets the Blue Jays on the board. Tice gets to third base. Still one out. Here's Colton Carrier at the plate. They're calling the game on radio over there, Mitch.
Yeah, well, I was trying to get to see some of the names. Trying to.
Ground ball back up the middle. Past the diving Grant Bishop. And another run scores. And Washington has plated 2 here in the bottom of the 6th, refusing to give up.
Yeah, I think this is it probably. Yep, looks like it. He looked over a few times. Coach Hill's going to get him. He looked over a few times, and I think it might have gotten his head a little bit. That might have been his last couple guys. So he'll learn from that for sure. Still my player of the game, even though he's given up 2 here in the 6th or 7th. 6th.
Coach Hill congratulating his big right-hander.
Yeah, job well done.
So we'll get some totals here. Go backwards here and grab one now.
Yeah, that's all right. While you go through that, I can run through some
ahead.
scores. We got Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars 10-0 on Liberty. You got Howell North up on Francis Howell Central 8-1. Fort Zumwalt North, the Panthers are up 10-1 on the Timberland Wolves. Seckman and Webster Grove still tied. North Point is up 7-1 on Fort Zumwalt South. West took a 5-0 lead. That game should be close to being over. And then we got a 12-2 ball game here. That's the Warrenton ended up winning over Holt 11-0, and Howell won 8-0 over Troy Buchanan. That's the scores I got for you right now.
So numbers for Hollingsworth are 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 4 base on balls, and 9 Ks. It's a pretty good outing.
I'll take that.
And coming on to pitch for the East Lions will be number 9, Chase Center. Center, so far this year, has got... This is he's only had 2 innings pitched so far. He's got no ERA. He's given up 1 hit, and that's it. That's what we got on him.
This is another young arm for East, correct? Is he just a sophomore or is he a junior?
Let me see here, Mitch. Let me see roster. Boom. Freshman. 2028. Big spot for the freshman. I mean, I shouldn't say big spot, but I think, it is for him. Here's a freshman coming in. They got a big lead. Yeah. I got to come in, face, you're at Ben Galinas, one of the better hitters for this Washington team. Ooh, there you go. Little go-go juice on that, Mitch.
Here you go.
Strike 1. I think I don't know. I think he changed him up. They're already talking. He goes, hey, man, I didn't call that. Did you call that?
Whoops.
Little cross up.
There's nothing worse than that as a catcher when you go out there and
I bet.
You're thinking curveball's coming
especially
on that fastball.
If a guy's got a big fastball, 90 plus, and you think his changeup's coming, you're like, ah.
Oh, I've completely whiffed on a ball, called a curveball, and he threw a fastball, and he's got a good one. He hit me right in the left side, right between the skin. I had, for whatever reason, was turned, and maybe to try to throw somebody out or something, but it hit right on the corner of my chest protector and my rib cage. I mean, complete miss. And that was like a mid-'80s kind of. It was just a mid-'80s guy, but
That still hurts. I don't care.
Yeah, it does. Definitely when it doesn't hit the dirt first.
Good curveball. Foul back. I remember as a umpiring a 14U game, had a kid that was probably throwing low to mid 70s at 14U, and catcher whiffed. Ball hit me right straight in the kneecap.
Oh.
And of course, the shin guard, but I don't care, man. I dropped like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, and
it took me about 10 minutes to get so I could walk again, because it's a whiff. I mean, I don't care. When it doesn't, it isn't buffered by anything.
Yeah, and I think right there at that knee pad too, isn't that where the there's really no guard there, because it's the piece that you need to.
It's the flex, but it did catch. It hit me right there, and I finished the game. Stuck in there, baby. I ain't no quitter. I wouldn't do.
You better not have.
No. Finish the game. Thanks, Drew.
Yes, there you go.
Good pitch. Center comes in, gets the strikeout of Galinas.
This is going to be a must-watch over the next couple years.
Drew says in there, my crack engineer in there. You didn't do another one, though. No, he's correct. I did not.
Yeah, that's family. That's family love.
Andrew Elbert. 2 outs now. 2 on. Lined at the right fielder topping. And that is the ball game, folks. The Lions come to Washington and put it on the Blue Jays 12-2. We're going to get our player of the games over here. Carter Hollingsworth, Colton Warnicki, and we'll be right back. I'm going to let Mitch fill in. We'll be right back with our interviews.
Yeah, again, 12-2. Fort Zumwalt East over your Washington Blue Jays. Big games tomorrow. We have the North. G.A.C's Orchard Farm and St. Charles West will be our nightcap at Car Shield. That's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to that. Something about being a high schooler and being able to play at night. But if you cannot catch the games, we have a 2 and 4:30 game. I did not remember the the opponents for that one, but obviously in the G.A.C's, I love to coach in them, love to watch them. It's going to be great games on the slate. And if you can't get them, you can go ahead and put them on your phone and get them on YouTube. Make sure you follow us at Youth Baseball Midwest. Hit that notification so you can get the game time when we go live, and obviously do our interviews, coaches' interviews. But big game today by Mr. Hollingsworth for Fort Zumwalt East, and I thought it was a big move for Mr. Warnicki on behalf of the Blue Jays over there to come in and try to keep that game competitive. And we talked about it on the show. Or on air, you have to play these guys again tomorrow. That's what I love about the G.A.C. conference, and they have to fight, for an opportunity to come back tomorrow and try to beat East at their house. So Brian is going to get the players of the game, which I think he's coming over now. It's Mr. Carter Hollingsworth, and I got to take my hood off so that they can get the interview here going.
With this microphone.
How you doing, sir?
And Mitch,
all right.
We're gonna stand. We're gonna.
You want me to grab the microphone?
Yeah, let's grab the mics and stand up right over here because the camera's right there.
All right.
Let's do that. Come on over. We'll get this all set up. We're gonna stand up like we got some sense, right? There we go.
I don't know if it's on.
It is. We got both of them on. Here you go, Mitch.
Both of them on.
Camera's right over there, guys.
Camera's over here. There's the camera right there. Look that way. I'm not good at this either, buddy. Hopefully you're a little better than I am.
Yeah.
All right, the Carter Hollingsworth. Man, electric today on the bump for East. I know that they're at the end. Some pitches got away from you, but you've been pretty good most of the day. Tell us what you were feeling kind of going into this game. Did you feel like you had it early?
Yeah, definitely had it early. I think a big part of it's confidence. Going into it, I was super confident. Throwing strikes, letting the guys play behind me, and just see what happens.
Letting you guys play behind you. They didn't have much work. You had 9 Ks on a day and five something innings, and so I I tell you, I was sitting back here thinking about how I would try to attack you as a hitter. That's what I did, and I'm thinking I don't want to hit against this guy's fastball. He's got a lot of movement today, and I would say I'd pick on your slider. That's what I wanted to pick on early because every once in a while you'd hang one, but you had them mixed up. I mean, it was just a great sequencing by whoever was calling pitches, but your execution today. Did you have it just like in warm-ups? Did you just feel like today was going to be one of those days?
I mean, I go into it thinking every day is going to be this day, regardless if it is or isn't, but I credit a lot of it to Don behind the plate, and then Coach Barrett calls pitches, so I credit a lot of my success to them. I
want to bring up something real quick, though. There was a situation late in the game. Your third baseman had that glove that is kind of a, how turf is. Yeah. Sometimes they can skip on you. Kind of squeaked under his glove. You turn around, looked at him, said, "Let's go, man. I'm going to get you another ground ball, roll it up." He had made that throw late, pulled the first baseman off, and you again looked at him and said, "Hey, let's get this together." Yeah. I thought that was a big senior moment. You're a senior, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's a big senior moment, and he's a young athlete. Where did you learn, or how did that come natural to you? Because I felt like that was natural to be able to communicate like that and say, "Hey, let's get another one right here."
Yeah, I mean, Hilton Loud's even instilled in us, like being in the program for 4 years, like what we're doing and what we're not doing, and it's just been a big part being a senior now to be a leader and to help the young guys and help them out what they're doing.
I saw online State Fair.
Yes, sir.
They're having a nice little year.
Doing really well.
It's going to be a road runner.
Yes, sir.
Brian?
I wanted to find out, we were talking back and forth. What was the rule there? And, with the batter going in and out, talk to us a little bit about that.
I get amped up sometimes, get going. And I know Don behind the plate, he doesn't like it too much because I just go. Try to keep tempo. But they ruled that I was just going too fast before you would give the sign. So it happened twice. Now I haven't heard of it before.
Yeah.
I guess it's really they called it a ball. But I struck the kid out, so I guess it worked out in the end.
It didn't bother you much, did it? You just I love your pace. Yeah. And is it? Have you always been like that?
I think I've always been like that. I think just keeping tempo, not letting them control the game. I'm on the mound for a reason. I control the game, so I think it's my job.
It's that mentality, isn't it? You got to take a little bit of charge because as a pitcher, if you get a little passive, sometimes it can work to your disadvantage, right?
Yes, sir.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Well, player of the game for me, I like to hand out the Sour Punch straws. You like Sour Punch straws?
I do, yeah.
Well, enjoy them. If you want to share them with your teammates, you can. You take these.
Yeah.
They're for you, man.
Because
if not, I'm going to eat those 7,000 calories that are in there. I love sweets. So, But anyways, that's the first time I got to see you pitch. I am excited about watching you the rest of this year. Yes, I think we won't see him next week.
We may see him next week at the G.A.C. Classic Tuesday at Timberland.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, little Swain Hollingsworth.
That's going to be a good one.
Going to be having fun.
Well, thank you, sir. Heck of a job. Sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, folks, right here. Look at that. Look at that right there. There it is.
Yes, sir.
Say hi to Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, she's over here.
I'll take that.
We had to do that. But hey, heck of a job, young man.
Hey, guys.
Our CNB St. Louis Bank player of the game for the Zumwalt East Lions, Carter Hollingsworth. Thank you, young man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Good luck, buddy.
I'm hoping we can get Mr. Warnicki over here. We may have to do this off camera, and since their coaches, I don't think Coach is having a good day there. Let me go see if I can grab him real quick, Mitch. I'll be right back.
I'm going to go on a limb and say that he probably needs to leave them alone. Looks like it's got a lot of energy over there, but it's part of it, just recognizing some of these high school athletes have put in a ton of time, and we want to give these opportunities for these athletes to get recognized for things that they're doing for the game. So that was a good one. I'm excited about being able to, again, to watch Mr. Hollingsworth obviously the rest of this season, and then following his career at State Fair, which I believe is in Sedalia, Missouri. I think so. You guys know State Fair in Sedalia? I think it's in Sedalia, ain't it?
Missouri State Fair? Yes, I believe so.
Not the Missouri State Fair, the College State Fair. Ride rides and watch the what do they call that horse that never mind.
We don't even know.
No, it's a thing that's a fake horse that you ride.
Mechanical bull?
No. Nope. Hang on, man. I'm laughing because I think it's such a corny thing, but it's the Brommel horse or whatever that thing's called. Yeah, where it's a human that rides a stick horse and they jump over the.
Just a stick horse race.
Yeah, but it's got a name.
Pommel horse? But a pommel horse is
The-
gymnastics.
I don't know. I have actually no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to waste time. If anybody, hey, if actually, let's talk about the play, the sacrifice bunt situation. I did look that up.
Oh yeah,
And
right.
I guess now we should probably talk about that. But I looked that up, and I think it is a discretion, a judgment. It says if it beats the bunt out, right?
If he beats it out,
it's counted as a hit.
That's what I thought.
But there was no play there, and so they also in that ruling it can be still deemed a fielder's choice, which would create a sacrifice fielder's choice, so it's still an 0 for 0.
And that's where a lot of those things become subjective to the scorekeeper.
Yep.
No play on it. Do I give him a hit? Do I give him a fielder's choice? But there was no play tried to be made
Anywhere.
on anybody.
Right.
So to me, as discretionary to being a scorekeeper, and I've done that, I think it's just a matter of that's what you do.
Yeah.
You're looking at it like that. It's a hit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's a hit.
Well, I'm going to give you that.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
give you
Mitch.
that.
I appreciate it.
I'll give you that one.
Well, hey, Coach, they're still over there talking. We're going to sign off for today. Hopefully, we'll be able to get Mr. Warnicki over to get an interview. We'll post that up on the socials afterwards because I thought he did a good job coming back in there for Mason Tice. But, hey, another one under the belt, Mitch.
We have a long day tomorrow, so make sure you bring snacks, lunch, and I hope that everybody gets a chance to. If you cannot get out there to watch the 2 o'clock game, make sure you watch us online on our YouTube. And there's going to be a lot of great baseball played the rest of this week and next.
I have to correct you, though.
What?
I don't think it's a long day. It's baseball.
Well, it's
going to be a long
it's a
day.
great day.
There you go. I like that.
It's
better.
always a great day.
Yes. Is there 3 games in it? Yes. But it's still a good day, right?
Yeah, I was actually hoping that you was going to crush that with it's always a great day when we're in the presence of the Lord.
I like that. I like that. What he said. See?
That's a first for me.
I'm rubbing off on him. That's a good thing. But yes, it is. So, folks, thanks for tuning in. We do from the beautiful ballpark here in Washington, Missouri. We appreciate you tuning in if you do. Remember, if you like, please hit the like, subscribe, dinger, all of those things. We appreciate it very much. Have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, what do they got to do?
They got to throw strikes.
And hitters, what do they got to do?
Hit them where they ain't.
That's what we saw today. Folks, we'll see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow from CarShield Field.